shooting, scoring! And what a snipe!
Oh, he smoked him like a Christmas ham, as we say.
Back cross ice, what a save by Laurel! History has repeated itself. Greater Sudbury has won back-to-back NOJHL championships.
The puck is dropping soon, and there's tons to cover. What's going on, folks? I'm Alex Bastyovanszky. Another game day is upon us, and here's what you need to know before the action kicks off today.
And here comes David Harper on a breakaway, and he loses the puck, and he's up, and he scores!
It's been a yo-yo season thus far for the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners, up and down. It started on a high, winning 3 of their first 5 games, but that was followed by a series of setbacks that included an 8-game losing streak. A coaching change seemed to right the ship, however. The Miners are winning again, and new bench boss Tyler Savard is a happy man.
Quick shot, he scored!
Oh, man.
Yeah, obviously the boys started the year pretty good, and, they fell through some turmoil there, kind of pretty early in the season. And, having a younger team, it can be tough when you go through a coaching change. Obviously, I've only been here for a month. It can be tough with a coaching change. We have the average age in this dressing room of 17. We got our feet under us now. We ran into some injury trouble with like 6 guys going down, 6 of our better players, which, is never good. And, those guys are starting to get healthy now and starting to come back, and we're looking like a pretty scary team now.
The Gold Miners entered this weekend on a serious high, having swept both Sault Ste. Marie teams last week. No small feat against 2 squads that have been surging lately.
Obviously Sault Michigan's been one of the hotter teams in the league, and, to take them down was big for our group confidence-wise, and, that just carried right into Sunday. And, taking down the Thunderbirds, they're a well-coached hockey team, and, they're a pretty deep hockey club over there, so, that was big for our group to take down the Thunderbirds.
As Savard mentioned, this is a young team. Rookies abound and are leading the squad. 17-year-old Vive Hickey is the Miners' top scorer.
And quick shot right to the leg. Oh, Vive Hickey.
Yeah, Vive, he's one of our best guys every single night. Usually with young guys, they're pretty inconsistent. We don't find that with Vive. Maybe he has a bad game here and there. Yeah, that's hockey, but Vive's one of our hardest workers at the rink every day. He plays big minutes for us, and we can really rely on him.
Toronto native Ben Lyons is just a point behind his teammates.
Ben Lyons, I would give him a Patrice Bergeron comparison. Lyons is super good on both sides of the puck. Another guy, I can throw him out there with five minutes left in a game, and I can trust him in all situations.
And then there's 6'4" defenseman Finn Manterry, who recently was named one of the Rogers 3 Stars of the Week.
Quick shot, long one, nice goal! A C9 goal by Finn Manterry.
Yeah, Finn's a guy that, was a little lower on the depth chart when I first came in, and, he just keeps getting better every single night. Finn wants to come to the rink, he asks questions every day, and he just wants to get better every single day, and I think that's really starting to show in his game. Obviously he takes care of the D side of the puck first, which every coach loves, and the offensive numbers are starting to come for Finn as well, which is really nice to see.
In goal, Glenn McInnes has stood on his head. Last weekend alone, he stopped 64 of 67 shots in the Gold Miners' 2 wins.
Yeah, when I first got here, Glenn came back from injury, and it's never easy, a goalie sitting out for a few weeks at a time, but, I think Glenn's handled it really well. He had a tough week when he first came back, and he's really picked himself up well. Glenn's a leader in our dressing room. A lot of the guys in here look up to Glenn, and, that's very special to have a goalie, as the backbone of your defensive core. That's also a leader for all those guys, and, I can't speak highly enough about Glenn and his play as of late.
There's no question that hockey means the world to residents of Kirkland Lake, a town with a rich history that sent dozens of players to the NHL over the years, such as Dick Duff, Mickey Redmond, and Mike Walton. And the Miners would love to bring a championship to their loyal fans.
Yeah, well, we do a lot in the community, and I think it really shows. I mean, this team has fans. Whether we're 9-40 or 20-1, they're still showing up, and I think once we start to build something here, you're going to see even more and more people coming out to these games. I mean, this is a part of Kirkland Lake, and this hockey team means a lot to this community.
Gustav with the puck takes the shot, he scores! And the gold miners steal one from the Voodoos in overtime.
Yeah, they've already almost matched their win total from all of last season. Much improved Kirkland Lake. One game from last night, Sudbury hosting the Storm. Take us through it, Thomas Mercier.
Lawn with some great hand-eye coordination, walks to the high slot, he fires, he scores! Welcome to Cubs country! Briar Lawn with a rifling wrister scores his first NOJHL goal. Trying to take it towards the net. Cohen, good to see him back on the ice, almost redirected it home. McCartney trying to go cross ice, right on the money, they score! Spencer Horgan with a great shot, but man, oh man, what a perfectly placed saucer pass by McCartney, but it was broken up by the Storm penalty kill. Horgan back to just shy of the line. Kane walks in, fires, and scores! Owen Kane absolutely on rifles one. Newton in the corner for a wide open Mason Walker. Will he unload? No, he'll go back to the line for Vlad. He'll let it unload and he scores! So they have already matched that total from their last meeting. Mason Walker going to pick up the only assist. And another shot and another goal. Sudbury gets another one, and it's Owen Kane again.
King would add another for his 9th career NOJHL hat trick. Mason Walker makes it 9-zip Cubs here. But out of nowhere, Iroquois Falls scores this absolute beauty.
Iroquois Falls trying to come the other way. It's Lemieux with a nice move at the line. Lemieux with some room. He shoots and scores! Simon Lemieux, in his first game, scores his first in the NOJHL, and that was a beauty.
Not a bad way to get your first goal. Unfortunately, that was the one ray of sunshine on the day for the Storm. They fall 10-1 to the Cubs. Okay, game previews for today brought to you by Rogers. Rogers, great deals happening now. Shop today. And Kirkland Lake will be facing off with the Blind River Beavers. Just one encounter between the teams so far this season. Blind River won that 4-2 back on November 9th. The Beavers 2-3 over their last 5. The Miners 2-3 as well, but they have won 2 straight games right now. Timmins taking on Powassan. First meeting of the season between the squads. Two teams kind of going in opposite directions at the moment. The Rock are hot, having won 7 straight games. The Voodoos 1-4 over their last 5, and they fell to the Sioux Eagles 4-2 last time out. Those aforementioned Eagles will be in action facing the French River Rapids. The teams have actually split 2 games so far this season. The Rapids are 1-4 over their last 5, while the Eagles are the opposite of that. They're doing well right now, 4-1 over that time period. And Espanola takes on Iroquois Falls. The Storm won the lone encounter between the two teams 5-4 back on October 3rd. Iroquois Falls 2-3 over their last 5. Espanola 3-2. They are 4th in the standings right now with 29 points. Primetime player from last night, Owen King, taking the honor yet again. He picked up his 9th career NOJHL hat trick. 5 points in last night's game, 3 goals and 2 assists. He now has 21 points in just 8 games so far this season. Play of the day, brought to you by BrokerLink Auto, Home, and Business Insurance. BrokerLink, life is confusing. Your insurance shouldn't be. And it came in a losing cause, but what a first NOJHL goal for Simon Lemieux.
He's stopped by Saucette Plateau. Iroquois Falls trying to come the other way. It's Lemieux with a nice move at the line. Lemieux with some room. He shoots and scores! Simon Lemieux, in his first game, scores his first in the NOJHL, and that was a beauty to snap the shutout. And Iroquois Falls on the board.
Yeah, and just always remember that all throughout the NOJHL season, to stay up to date on everything that's going on with the league, be sure to check out its official social media outlets. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.